What's up, guys? My name is P, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Phipps Tips. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the overall market. We're going to check out its top performers. We'll have a look at today's biggest winners and its biggest losers. We got a news article today, guys. Amid a crypto bear market, the attention turns to small-time investors. That would be you and I. And then we're going to wrap today's episode up with, you know it, some Bitcoin technical analysis. So guys, all that and more coming up. Stay tuned. We are on CoinMarketCap.com. The market cap currently at $285.9 billion with a 24-hour trading volume of $11.5 billion and Bitcoin dominance creeping up today at 40.2%. Of our top five, guys, we have Bitcoin down nearly 1% at 0.83% down, Ethereum down 2%, Ripple down 1.44%, Bitcoin Cash down 2.21%, and EOS down 1.66% on the day, guys. Movers and shakers versus Bitcoin today, we have Centrality, number one, up against Bitcoin, 41.72%. Nano, doing big things today, guys, up 12.16% against Bitcoin. Basic Attention token up 11.5%. KuCoin shares up 9.19%. And Binance Coin up 6.37% today against Bitcoin, guys. All those things doing great against the Bitcoin. Our gainers and losers for the day, our number one gainer, Mothership, up 60% on the day. One World up 41.5%. Centrality up 40.5%. Feathercoin up 35%. And Fantasy Gold up 30.61% on the day, guys. Our biggest losers, Ivy down 24.5%. PundiX down 23.7%. WorldCore down 21.61%. Content and Ad Network down 18%. And Morpheus Network down 17.5% on the day, guys. So there you have our gainers and losers. We're going to move immediately into our news article, guys. Amid that crypto bear market, retail investors are the ones to be eyed. Stay right there, guys. We'll get into it. Here we are, guys. Amid a crypto bear market, attention turns to small-time investors. It's all being bought by retail. Speaking at CB's Insights Future of FinTech Conference Wednesday, NASDAQ President and CEO Adena Friedman hit on a theme almost everyone at the event echoed: the central role normally marginal figures, small-time investors and millennials in particular, play in cryptocurrency market, as well as financial technology or FinTech more broadly. During the first day of the conference in New York City, Friedman spoke about retail investors who she called Mr. and Mrs. 401k. And their interest in crypto tokens created via initial coin offerings or ICOs and funding mechanism that exploded in late 2017 and early 2018. And while Friedman expressed real concerns about transparency and the fear that ICOs could take advantage of people, she acknowledged that the technology opens up access to the early stage investments, particularly now that IPOs are subject to so many rules that she said no longer serve a purpose or protect investors. Even though IPOs are a big source of revenue for NASDAQ, Friedman said of ICOs, you want to make it so that retail has access to great companies. Still, quite a bit of ambivalence, I guess that's the word, was displayed about the fundraising mechanism made popular by Ethereum's ERC20 standard, but now available in several different forms on many different blockchains. Even as a conservative Republican with inclinations towards light regulation, Mick Mulvaney, the acting head of Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or the CFPB, raised the frightening prospect of no oversight at all, speculating on what would happen if Mt. Gox became a regular occurrence. And for those of you guys who do not know what Mt. Gox or what they're speaking about there, Mt. Gox originally was the largest cryptocurrency exchange. Back in 2014, it was hacked for hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin that, just overnight left the market. And, lots of investors were burned because of that. And, that's what the whole raise is now about, regulation and whatnot, to, try to keep another incident like Mt. Gox from happening again. But retail will be fine. Still, several speakers noted that retail investors will need both help and protection in interacting with high-risk, high-reward ICO markets. These are not wealthy investors, after all, who the SEC treats, in Friedman's words, like big boys or big girls. In contrast, Vlad Tenev, a co-CEO of Robinhood, the millennial-focused, mobile-only investing platform, expressed no hint of high-minded concerns for retail investors. These small-time traders are Robinhood's bread and butter, he said unapologetically. The app started out offering commission-free trades in equities, followed by options, commonly regarded as high-risk investments, and then in January added Bitcoin and Ether to the investment options. In May, the company raised $363 million in a Series D to build the largest crypto platform. This move into crypto, which is currently available to people in 16 states, came after large numbers of users began requesting that Robinhood list cryptocurrencies. Tenev said, making no mention of agonizing over how best to protect this group of investors. If anyone should be worried about their financial future, it is the stock brokerages and cryptocurrency exchanges that charge high fees, he continued, adding, if you look at cryptos, people are paying exorbitant fees right now, 4-5% per transaction, and it's very similar to brokerage before we came in and lowered fees dramatically. Robinhood's small fry millennial customers, he seemed to be saying, are too smart to pay those kinds of fees. Don't mention the bears. And yet, what went mostly unsaid at the conference was telling. Bitcoin's price has waltzed off a cliff since hitting nosebleed highs around $20,000 USD in December of 2017. According to CoinDesk's Bitcoin Price Index, the cryptocurrency is trading for around 6,750 at the time of writing, down more than 2/3 from its all-time high. But no one seemed particularly eager to talk about the pain this bear market might have caused retail investors. Friedman and Mulvaney hinted at it in abstract, but made no mention of the fact that many retail investors are nursing steep losses right now. And that is absolutely true, guys. I've been in this market since the mid-January, and I have not seen any gains worth noting yet. Any gains that I've had, guys, I have immediately put back in and lost. Well, I haven't lost, but they're sitting well under what I bought in for. At the same time, speakers and attendees sometimes appear to salivate over the gold mine that millennials and other small-time investors represent. Soon, the younger generation will be worth trillions of dollars, a CB Insight researcher pointed out in one presentation. And Tenev boasted that over 1 million people signed up to Robinhood's waiting list to trade cryptocurrency within the span of a few days. That at the very height of the recent mania. He also mentioned that equity trades on the platform are often in the tens of hundreds of dollars. In other words, implying that its users are hardly wealthy, though maybe they're just cautious. As such, it was perhaps easy for some to come away from the conference with the same seesawing misgivings that Mulvaney and Friedman seemed troubled by. While some ask why regular people shouldn't be able to access potentially lucrative crypto opportunities, the space is rife with half-truth, sketchiness, and outright scams. And in turn, other questions present itself. Should often inexperienced investors be expected to fend for themselves? These questions aren't likely to go away soon. But this new asset class, Robinhood's, Tenev said, has staying power. Significant staying power. So what do you think, guys? This article is basically calling us, crypto investors, noobs. like we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. Well, I, for one, before I invested into cryptocurrency, I spent weeks, literally weeks, combing over every coin that I could read about. I watched every episode on YouTube that I could watch about cryptocurrency and what cryptocurrency was and what it represented and what Bitcoin was and what it represented and who the creators were and what they represented and what they wanted out of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And guys, I share that same feeling, that decentralized finance is the way of the future. And, investing in companies that also see this, guys, is the smart thing to do. Now, people, I shouldn't say people, some people equate what's going on with crypto as they did back in the 90s with the dot-com bubble when the internet boom happened and there were so many companies on the internet, and a year or two after the internet big surge, people lost millions and millions and millions of dollars as companies just began to fold left and right. So what I'm basically saying is, guys, when you enter this market, or any market for that matter, and you want to invest in companies and try to better your life, do not rely on other people to do that for you, because number one, they won't. People are out for themselves 99% of the time. I mean, you have people like myself who decided to, make a channel such as this on YouTube to help the new investors see through, scumbag scammers who are out just to steal your hard-earned money, that they don't want to get a job of their own. They just want to be complete, drains on society, living in their parents' basement, making up their own little ICO that, they claim it's going to change the world, when really they're doing nothing but scamming you out of your money. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want that to happen to me. That was the entire purpose behind this channel, was to help educate newer investors in this space. And I really do hope that that's exactly what I'm doing. But, as far as retail investors like you and I, guys, that we are the ones who actually started this whole revolution with cryptocurrency. Last year, to like the end of last year, the tail end when Bitcoin hit $20,000. I mean, I honestly don't believe that, that was a natural occurrence. That 20 grand for one single Bitcoin was a little exorbitant. The price that it's sitting now is a little lower than I expected it to be this time of the year. But, from trusted sources, the sources that I trust on the internet, and, versus, there's, I'll give you a couple of names, guys, like Crypto Bobby, great guy, super smart, super dialed into this space, knows what he's talking about. He's a guy that you should really follow. Carter Thomas from Coin Mastery TV, another guy, super dialed into this space. He's someone else you should follow. Node Investor. I've got all of these guys that I'm subscribed to on YouTube that, they help you. They're there. They're wanting the same thing out of this space that I am for you guys. They want to educate you to make smart decisions with your money. They don't want you to just stumble in blindly and throw your money into another BitConnect or another Gavra coin just to have it siphoned away by scumbags who, want to be scam artists and, just drains and scums on society. That's not what they want out of this. And, I really enjoy that about this space, that there are so many people out there willing to, help the average guy see through, cut through the bull, I should say. So, drop me a comment down in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think. Do you think that, have you run into anybody online that you really trust 100% with, with investing advice? I mean, really, you should never trust anybody 100% over the internet, because that's just asking for trouble. But, if you can find like 4, 5, 6 different people that, that you really feel like you connect with and that are really trying to put their best foot forward when it comes to this space, hold on to those guys and listen to what they have to say, because for the most part, guys, they are trying to help you. Just a little bit of advice there. So, we're going to move on into our technical analysis, guys. Just let this article sink in, because we are the retail investor guy, and we are the ones that are holding up this market currently. Before, big money enters and, the market cap goes to the moon, so to speak, we're the ones who are holding down the fort currently. So, stay strong, guys. Stay strong. We're going to move on to our... And here we are, guys, on the Bitcoin versus US dollar 4-hour scale using the Bitfinex exchange information. Now, guys, I still have the trend line up that I had posted yesterday, that I drew yesterday. I shouldn't say I posted anything, but I drew it. And as you can see, Bitcoin really, it's just trending right along here. We've got a little bit of sideways action today. Nothing too great. What we can see as I scroll in here a little bit, I want to turn off auto so we can get a better... We are currently making a red doji today, or in this 4-hour time scale, I should say. We've got about 47 minutes left before this candle's finished printing. And as I've told you guys before, what a doji represents is indecision or even a reversal. But we have made, guys, a bull flag, another bull flag. I'm going to draw it out for us just to show you. Here is our, well, that's a terrible line. We'll draw it straight down, yeah, like that. There we go. And then, as such, we have our flag. Now, I don't have to tell you guys, because I'm sure you already know. You're like, Pete, we know what a bull flag is. You tell us about it every single day. It's a bullish sentiment, or it's a bullish indicator. While true, guys, while very true, I also tell you guys every single day that Bitcoin is manipulated and it does not follow technicals hardly ever. That being said, if it does, what can we expect? I'm going to remove these drawing tools currently. Now, what we can expect, guys, is I think personally that this relief rally, this candle here, and then the sideways action is pretty much calling an end to this relief, and we're going to see a bit of sell side pressure. And what that means is, guys, is that we should be ready for this to happen. Just a downward shot. I don't know by how far. It shouldn't be by much. We can zoom out, turn on auto so we get a bigger picture here. And what we can do is see where all this price action here is between like the 17th, the 16th, on back till like the 12th and 13th. All of this, guys, is building a line of support for us. So what we could expect from Bitcoin at this juncture is if and when it does break down out of this pattern here, guys, that this will be the area that it bounces from. This little area right here, where all this price action is. I will draw in a rectangle just so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Right through here. This will be our first area of support. So what we can expect, guys, is, a bit of a bounce. If, we do see this sell side pressure, it'll be something like so. Bing. And then, if we can get into our Elliott wave, we should see something like this. Like where we bounce back up. Darn it. Let me get my wave extension back up. Something like so. And hopefully what we can do is get through all of this. This whole big chunk of space right there, guys, where I've got this third wave coming up. This all is resistance. A huge amount of it. As I zoom out, you can see all this price action from here, all this here. And as I've stated many times before, guys, previous lines of support, if we've broken through them and fallen down, become lines of resistance on the way back up. So, as I've stated before, I'm going to draw a rectangle again. This whole area here, all of this, will act as resistance for Bitcoin. That whole area. So, and even on down into where we're at now, if I could just, it's more like so. If we want to get technical about it, this whole bit, all of that, acts as resistance for us. So what does that mean? That means it's going to take a lot of buying volume to get us through this. Like to punch through with, volume and conviction. We need that kind of, we need a catalyst, guys. Something that's going to send this market screaming into 10K range. Otherwise, I feel like it's just going to do this all over again. We'll get up into here, like the 7,500 range, and then boom, down again. And then up and then down, and then up and then down. If we cannot make it through this bit of resistance here. That's just my 2 cents on it, guys. If you have other questions about it, feel free, guys, to drop me questions down in the comment section. I've noticed that, I'm getting views on the videos, but nobody's leaving any questions or nobody's making any comments. You are absolutely entitled to do that, and I urge you to do that. If you have questions, ask. Or at least, watch some of the other guys that I have, as great alternatives, because these guys, they are smart people. They are smart people. They know what they're talking about when it comes to this space. And, I listen to them every single day, so I don't make a channel that, and make a video where I sound like a complete and total fool because, I don't want to be talking out of my ass. I need to know what I'm talking about, guys. So, I listen to these guys and take what they have to say, and I use that and I learn on it and I think on it. I come up with my own decisions about how I want to invest into this market or how I want to trade into this market. And I really do, guys, I think that, for the most part, like a lot of people on YouTube who are out there, they're trying to help make you a better investor and smarter when it comes to, your own money and your own investments. So take their advice, guys. They tout that it's not financial advice, and I'm going to use that as a disclaimer as well. This is not to be taken as financial advice. So please do not trade on anything that I have to say because I'm not a professional fiduciary, guys. I'm just a guy trying to figure out this cryptocurrency space just like everybody else. But that being said, just make sure that you're doing your own research, guys. I mean, it's great. Listen to what these guys have to say, but in the end, make sure you're doing your own research. Don't take one guy's word for it, or two guys or three guys. Do your own research, guys. Learn about this space. Learn about the companies that you want to invest in before you just go throwing your money around, because that is the first way you are going to get burned, is just by listening to some random jerk on the internet telling you who or what company that you should invest it in. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you read a white paper and you really think that what they're doing is going to, set the world on fire, great. That's the company that you should invest in. Otherwise, save your money, guys. I mean, do yourselves a favor. Do not get burned in this space, because there are a lot of people out there who are just wanting to scam you out of your money. But, that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video today. If you're still with me after all this time, hit that subscribe button, as I try to post a video every single day, Monday through Friday. And if you learned anything new today, hit that like button and share it with your friends. Your friends want free information, and that's what I'm here for, is to give you guys free information every single day, and hopefully you can learn from it, make wise decisions when it comes to investing. And, with that being said, guys, I would like to thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.